Brittany Crossan. I am the owner of Fun Love Media. Fun Love Media is a social media agency based right here in Houston, Texas, where I live with my family. And I love social media. That's what started my business. That's what started me building a personal brand. That's what started so many amazing things in my life is social media. Back in 2002, I fell in love with MySpace. And I am a performer and an actor and a dancer since I was a little bitty kid. So to me, whenever I discovered MySpace, I was like, this is like a stage. This is amazing. Like I can put things out here and then like anybody in the world is going to see it, right? So you can imagine when you fast forward years later, how excited I was whenever I discovered TikTok. That was the first time I used short form video, which is what I'm here to talk to you about today. And short form video is what you're going to find on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, on Facebook Reels, on YouTube Shorts. And as of right now, in the summer of 2024, LinkedIn seems to be working on their own short form video part of their platform as well. So they're usually vertically formatted videos on any of those platforms. And they're shorter, right? Like different platforms have different length limitations on the video, but generally they're pretty short, like 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds at the most. But a lot of times short form videos are even shorter than that, like less than 10 seconds long. And I want to talk to you about that today. I'm going to share my screen with you and I'm going to show you what I've got for you. Yes, let's share this. Okay, here we go. Because I want to give you some top tips on this, okay? I want to give you my 4 things that your short form videos need to succeed. These are 4 big things, like my top tips. If you can include these 4 things every time you're creating short form videos, you are going to see much more success, whether you're sharing on TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, like whatever, or maybe all of the above. That would be amazing. You're going to see more success if you do these things in your short form videos. Okay. All right. Let's dive in. First, though, I want to let you know that's me at work. A lot of the images you're going to see here in this presentation are photos from our work at Fun Love Media because we actually shoot short form video content for our clients on a regular basis. So not only do I do this for myself and my own personal brand, but also at Fun Love Media. So that's what these images are in this presentation that you're going to see. Okay, first I want to let you know why I think you should include short form videos into your marketing strategy. Like if you aren't familiar with this or you've never really committed to short form videos, you're just not really sure what the point is, this is it. All right. First, audiences love them right now. So if it's something that an audience loves and responds to and like actually uses, then you should probably be doing it, right? I mean, come on. Don't even try to tell me that you have not gotten on there and scrolled and watched some fun videos or interesting, weird videos, whatever they are on whichever, app or platform that you prefer. We've all done it and audiences really, really still dig this. And I think it's going to be with us for a while. So you want to be where the audiences are. Okay. That's the first reason why. Next, you're going to get attention on your brand because audiences love to consume short form videos. And the way that it's all formatted on the platforms, you're going to get more attention on your brand because on all of these platforms that have short form video, you're able to scroll through, you swipe up to the next video and next and next. And when you're doing that and you're in that feed of the videos, you're not only seeing stuff from people that you follow. So that means that you're getting attention on your brand from all kinds of people that follow you and people that don't. All right. And speaking of that, the next thing I have listed is to increase visibility. Using short form videos in your marketing strategy increases your visibility. The end. Fact for sure, 100%. All right. And visibility is what matters in marketing. If you're not getting people's attention and you're not visible, then you ain't nothing in marketing, right? These things are really important. Also, it's going to increase your engagement because audiences love these videos, because they're using them, and because of the way that the energy flows between you and the person that's watching. It increases engagement. So it increases the odds that they're going to like it, that they're going to comment, that they're going to share it with someone that they know, and so on and so forth. And then finally, it's going to help you gain focus and clarity in your brand and messaging, because it's an art. All right. It's an art to be able to put together really great short form videos. So first of all, don't be hard on yourself if you're not good at it at first, because you shouldn't be. It's new, and it's okay. But when you work hard on the art form of short form video, you are going to start to realize things within your brand, and you're going to like be able to hone in more on things and focus, because you have to, because these videos are short. You only have so much time to get your point across, to get your message across. It's really fantastic. It's like training. It's like some sort of a physical training kind of thing, where you really, really get a lot out of it. And you never know what it's going to do to help improve the messaging in your brand and your focus, because you're creating and sharing these short form videos on a regular basis. So those are my, big reasons why I think that you should be, or why you should include them in your marketing strategy, excuse me. Okay. Next up, here we go. Hang on, come on, computer, cooperate. There we go. Okay. Next, sorry. Thank you for your patience. All right, let's dive into the 4 things that your short form videos need to succeed. Number 1, film in an environment that represents your brand. Okay, environment. That's the key word here. All right, by doing this, you're essentially creating a visual hook, is what we call it, and it helps the viewer immediately recognize important things about your brand. So, as you can see in this presentation, you see that we're shooting content like, and one of these photos is in a hair salon. We're actually in the environment. Now, let me just say that it's challenging. It's not that easy to shoot content in an open, busy, working hair salon. The blow dryers are very annoying when it comes to audio. And we have to just deal with it and use microphones and do our best. But the bottom line is that these videos that we have shot on the floor of this hair salon in Houston, Click Salon, shout out, is they are so impactful right from the beginning, as soon as somebody starts watching them, because immediately they're like, this is a hair salon video. You know what I mean? Like, they're seeing it right away because you're in that environment. So if you are, and the other one included here, the other image I want to make sure I mention, is being in the environment of an interior designer. As you can see, one of our clients, Megan, she is arranging some of these accessories in this home, like on a shelf, and we filmed her doing that because she's in her environment, right? So immediately they're going to learn things about your brand just because of the place that you are when you're filming. So if you have this like urge to just kind of like sit at your desk or sit in some corner in your house or something like that, and you can't really tell much about where you are or what you do, try to resist that temptation. I know it's easier to just like sit at home, by a window and whatever, but if you can get into an environment that actually represents your brand and helps whoever's watching understand it like right away, then you're winning. It's going to make a very big difference. All right. And I want to give you an example before we move on from this, of somebody who we worked with, that we shot some video content with last year in Houston. And she doesn't have an office. She works from home. And what she does is she's a motivational speaker and a coach that helps leaders in business and businesses with stress management related issues in the workplace or in their own, work. And so we thought of a location to film where it could represent, kind of like the vibe of the business rather than literally being at a business, because not everybody has offices, especially these days. It's very common to not have an office. So what we did with her was we actually shot in this really beautiful spot in Houston that we were outdoors. And so there was like a pond and there were trees and all this. So it gave that vibe of like nature and caring, and she's going to nurture you. She's going to help you. Like that's the kind of work she's doing. But also there were like big buildings around us that were like shiny and cool and everything. And she's like this kind of like vibrant personality, and it's a busy city kind of thing. So we actually were able to work with both of those things in that environment when we shot the video, and it really helped represent her brand really well. So if you need to think outside the box, that is, that's one example for you as to something you might be able to do in your brand if you don't actually have an office or an actual business location. Okay. All right. Number 2 is to include a verbal hook at the beginning of your video. You notice I'm mentioning another hook. We had a visual hook, something that gets their attention visually right off the bat. And a verbal hook is what you're saying when you're talking on camera. And also, if you're watching this presentation, you can see over here, this outdoor shoot. That's Lolita. That's who I was talking about that does the stress management, and we shot some stuff outdoors. Okay, so number 2, include a verbal hook at the beginning of your video. So this is what's going to grab their attention with what you're saying if you're talking on the video. If you're not, and it's like more of a B-roll with some background music, and like maybe you're just like putting the story on the screen and the pop-up text, then do the hook in the pop-up text, right, on the actual screen. But if you're talking, you want to have a verbal hook. So I have a few examples of verbal hooks. This is exactly how I gained 100 followers in 30 days. That's a great verbal hook. The next one is, my dog peed on me. Okay. The next one is, I can't believe they lied to me. So there's tons of cool verbal hooks you could use. But as you can see, these are pretty bold statements that are intriguing. They're going to pique interest. And also they might even include like the ending of the story. So my dog peed on me. That's a good example. Like that's what actually ended up happening in the story. Like, oh my God, my dog peed on me. This is crazy. Right. But you think like, oh, I don't want to spoil the ending of the story, right? You want to wait until the end, but that's actually not the case with short form video. You want to actually grab attention and tell a bold or standout part of the story at the beginning to get the viewer to stick around, because it's not easy to get someone to stick around for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's not easy. So we're grabbing their attention by including that hook at the beginning. So maybe the story, you're going to tell leads up to the fact that your dog peed on you. You're going to go ahead and say it at the beginning, and then you're going to move on to finish telling the story in the rest of the video. This is exactly how I gained 100 followers in 30 days. I learned the power of the word "this" from my buddy Terry Schilling, who's a fantastic copywriter. If you don't follow Terry, go look up Terry Schilling on LinkedIn. He's fantastic, and he teaches the power of the word "this." So when I say "this is exactly how I gained 100 followers in 30 days," well, what are you wondering? What is this? What does this mean? Right? This, what? So what'd she do to gain 100 followers in 30 days? So using the word "this" helps the audience say, oh, well, I want you to fill in the blank. I want you to tell me. So maybe they're going to keep watching so they can get the answer. Okay. And then, I can't believe they lied to me. Like bold, kind of dramatic parts of the story essentially are really great to say up front. Also, for more on verbal hooks and videos, if you go to my company's website, funlovemedia.com, one of my team members, Dr. Trevor Buffoni, wrote a great article on this exact topic on our blogs for the company. We write blog posts and articles that we share with our audience, and it's on there on funlovemedia.com, and he gives tons of examples of verbal hooks. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, provide full value in the short form video. All right. So if you're only going to share teaser videos and then ask the audience to go somewhere else to see the rest without providing any actual value in that short video, they're going to get frustrated. It doesn't mean you have to give all of the answers in your short form video. Hell, you probably don't have time. So let me give you an example. With my podcast, the Social Sunshine Podcast, I record audio and video simultaneously whenever I record any episode of the show, right? Well, we, of course, being social media experts at Fun Love Media, we want to make sure we share about every single podcast episode on social media. So we're getting clips from them from each episode, getting video clips to be able to share as short form videos, just like what we're talking about. So sharing them on TikTok or as Reels, YouTube Shorts, and so on and so forth. And so whenever I'm choosing the part of the episode that I want to include in the short form video clip, I want people to go over to a podcast platform and listen to the entire episode? Of course I do. But I also don't want to annoy the audience and not give them any value. I don't want to just say like one sentence in the video and be like, okay, you gotta go listen to the episode for the rest. It needs to include some sort of value. So again, you don't have to include everything in the short form video every time, because there's just literally not enough time in short form videos, but you have to include some sort of good nugget, something that they could actually take from watching that video. They can walk away and go, oh, so I can actually go and try this thing that they told me to try, or oh, this gives me something to really think about and consider to be able to make this decision. You really want to still have full value, even though it's short. So again, don't only use it as teasers to get someone to go elsewhere, because one, that's frustrating. Two, they're probably not gonna go, just to be honest. Probably not gonna go. And it's hard to get people to go from one place to another to go listen to something or watch something or whatever. That's already hard enough to do. And if you're also not giving them any value in the content that they're consuming on that platform, then that's going to be even more frustrating, and they're definitely not going to go and listen or watch. Okay. So providing full value, actually giving something they can take from it that's valuable and go and either take action, make a decision, feel better informed. Okay. And then number 4 is edit, and then edit again. So the word here is edit. Get the point across as quickly as possible in your short form videos. You'll be amazed, honestly, at what value can be received from like a 6-second video. Now, if you need 40 seconds, like if you really need the full 40, all right, that's okay. Just make sure it's cut like really quick. Cut out the ums and the pauses whenever you're editing it. Like if you're talking in the video, you want to use, like I like to use InShot. I have some team members that like to use CapCut, whatever app you like to use with your smartphone, but you want to really edit it down and cut out the pauses and things in between. So that way it's boom, 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 boom. So even if you need 40 seconds and they really need to see all 40 seconds, like to learn whatever you're sharing, maybe by cutting it quickly like that and going from point to point to point to point to point and not having a bunch of lulls, you're really increasing the odds that they're going to actually finish watching the entire 40 seconds. But only make it as long as you absolutely need to. And this also is an art. Editing is an art. So shout out to all the editors out there. You know, my team of social media managers, we all have to be video editors as well in the work that we do. And it really takes a lot of practice. I mean, you really want to. That's why I put on this edit and then edit again. Like you really sometimes have to go back. Sometimes you have to even pause, like take 5 minutes and then go back to the video and go, okay, how can I cut this down even tighter so that there's not fluff? We don't really want a lot of fluff in short form video content, because you're going to lose the viewer quicker if you have a lot of fluff. All right. So edit and then edit again. All right. And even if you're not talking, even if it's visuals, I should mention that before we move on. Even if the video is just visuals, like B-roll with some background music and the pop-up text on the screen and that kind of a thing, and nobody's actually talking to the camera, the visuals being quick also matter. Like sometimes, say for example, we're dealing with one of our clients that does real estate. And sometimes we have this one that will send us like raw video footage that they take, like when they go to a property, right? And they're like, oh, I'm going to take video footage of all these different rooms in this house, and then the Fun Love Media team will put it together and make it look cute, right? Well, sometimes they'll pan a room, like a big room, say it's a big living room, and go all the way from one end to the other, and it's like really long, and it's like 12 seconds long. Well, we're going to need to cut that down some, or we're going to need to speed it up and be kind of like on a fast forward kind of thing. Like we have to make those kinds of adjustments, whether you're speaking on camera or not, so that way we're keeping everything tight and compact when it comes to these short form videos. Okay, that's our 4, but of course, I have some bonus tips, okay? So the first one is to film in a well-lit area. Sunlight is best. You can see in the picture I use in this presentation, it's another one from the salon that we work with here in Houston. They have these great big windows. They have such great lighting in there. So if you are able to film in a place like that, it is ideal. If you are filming at home, even like in your home office, and that's your setting, for your videos, just face a window. Like, don't let the camera face the window. Your face needs to face the window. The camera faces you. So that way, all that nice kind of diffused sunlight is coming in and pouring all over you and the room and the space. All right. So sunlight is best. If you have to use artificial light, okay, it's there for when you have to use it. But if you don't have to use it, sunlight is always, always beautiful. Okay, the next bonus tip is use a recent model smartphone for best quality. So if your smartphone is 4 years old, for example, that's probably too old. Like, you need to, stay on top of updating it, because you can you can most definitely create very beautiful, high quality content with a smartphone. At Fun Love Media, we only use smartphones. We don't even use a traditional camera, for not just for ourselves in our own personal brands, but I mean our actual client work. Like, we go and do video shoots and we film with smartphones, because it's what makes the most sense for what we do, because we're doing this for social media, and the smartphone is compatible with social media automatically and all these things, right? So it's the smartest choice. And if you have a recent model smartphone, the quality is amazing. In fact, now in 2024, you actually have some smartphone models where the quality of the video and of the photos is just as good as a bunch of traditional cameras out there. And if you know how to use it and you have good lighting and all these things, then you're going to come up with some really professional looking stuff. But you really need to make sure you keep a recent model smartphone around. All right. And then finally, share often. I know that this can feel overwhelming if you're not used to short form video content being a big part of your strategy on social media, but you really do need to share these often. Like, if you want any sort of growth, then sharing one short form video a week, that won't cut it. It's not going to help with growth. Now, is that better than nothing? If you're starting from zero and you're learning and you got to do something, if you can commit and actually do one video a week for like 2 months, and you make sure and you follow through and you do that, then fantastic. That's a great first step. But when you want to kind of graduate to the next level, if you want to have any sort of growth, and I don't even mean necessarily trying to go viral or trying to gain 100 or 200 followers per month or anything substantial. I mean, just like, gradual growth over the next 12 months. You want growth. You want some more followers, you want some more engagement, you want some more visibility, you want some more brand awareness, you want all these things, then you need to share more than one short form video per week. I even think that, basically, the faster and better results you want, the more you should share. But it depends upon what your goals are as to exactly how many times you should even share. If you are not trying to have like super aggressive growth on social media, and maybe you're a smaller business, you're a local business, you don't need thousands and thousands and thousands of followers and views and all this stuff, but you do want something that's nice and solid and consistent and represents your brand well and really serves your audience well, then if you can commit to 2 or 3 a week and you actually do it, then you're going to be sitting pretty. I think that's a great place to be, especially at 3 a week. That's a really good, solid place to be. But once you get into this land of like these brands and businesses that want huge growth, that want the huge numbers, that need them to thrive, maybe there's lots of businesses that can really thrive off of having the bigger numbers, then you need to move on past just 3 a week. All right. So we really look at what your goals are and what kind of business you have, and if it makes sense for you to share more than 3 times a week or not. All right. Okay. That wraps it up. So I wanted to give you some information right here so you can stay in touch. I have lots of even free ways for you to stay educated on this sort of thing. So of course, for my company, you can go to funlovemedia.com to learn all the things. You can go find that article I told you that Dr. Buffoni wrote. He's one of our social media manager strategists on the team, and he wrote a great article about verbal hooks. So if you go to funlovemedia.com for that. Also, it's going to on our website. You can learn more about our team and what we do and all the things. Listen to my podcast. The Social Sunshine Podcast is free and it's on all major podcast platforms. And I'm always talking all things social media on that show. And so it's a great way for you to get some free tips. And also I have really cool social media creators come on and like share their story and what they're doing on social media and how they're creating things. It's really an honor to have some of the amazing creators I've had on the Social Sunshine Podcast. And then of course, follow on social media for more free education and inspiration on all of these things when it comes to social media and your brand and showing up authentically and all those things. You can follow me, Brittany Crossing. You can follow Fun Love Media. You can follow Social Sunshine Podcast. All of it is there. I'm gonna stop sharing that. Okay. I just want to express to you before I end this session with you that, I know that if you're not used to doing this yet, or you haven't fully really just like committed and dove into the whole world of these short form videos, I know that it's not easy. I understand. I mean, I am a performer and love to be in front of an audience. And even for me, I have moments where it's not always easy. There are so many variables when it comes to social media in general, but also with short form video. I mean, you might be uncomfortable to be on camera. You might not know if you need to be on camera very much or not in your business, right? You have to figure these things out. You have to know things about your brand and your mission and what, all these kind of behind the scenes, deeper thoughts of what you're doing. So that way you can then deliver that in your messaging in your videos. That's pretty complex, high level marketing stuff, and then not to mention the whole like worrying about feeling silly, looking silly, what people are going to say about you. Maybe your family will be judgy if you are sharing all these like silly, fun videos or whatever it is on social media. And that can be really hard too. But I just want to encourage you and tell you that most likely no one is really criticizing you more than you are criticizing yourself. And nobody's probably judging you more than you're judging yourself. And if they are, then we don't need to hang out with those kind of people, do we? But I think that we worry about what other people think of us when it comes to video, especially on social media. And we have to realize that most people are just more worried about themselves than they are about us. And if they are having a judgy moment about our content, it might last for like minutes and then they move on with their life, right? We really aren't doing this for those people, are we? We're coming forward as leaders in whatever industries that we're in, and we're saying we're gonna take advantage of this amazing technology and this amazing opportunity we have to put together these videos that are going to be delivered out on these platforms to people all over the planet. And they're going to do things for those people. So whether you're educating, you're entertaining, you're inspiring, it doesn't really matter. Whatever you're doing in your short form videos, it's going to help the people that consume them, that watch them. And it's going to help you grow a brand. And it's going to help you connect with other human beings and develop relationships that could be absolutely life-changing. And I speak from experience. So whenever you're diving into this, remember that ask yourself, like if you're feeling doubtful, what's more important? The judgment I might get from other people for showing up in these videos, or my mission? Obviously the answer is your mission. And it's easier said than done, but I'm telling you, once you get over that initial hump and you just get used to it and you kind of just start and dive in, you're going to get better and better and better. And your videos are going to just be better and better quality. You're going to feel more comfortable with shooting them, with editing them, with posting them, whatever. Or even if you hire help, you still are there in the creative process and having to make these decisions. No matter which way you're handling this for your brand, you're going to get better over time, and you're going to be so glad. Just like anything else, you're going to be so glad that you just dove in and got started. I hope that you have fun with the videos. I hope that this talk was helpful for you. And thank you so much again for having me at Social Media Day Houston. I am Brittany Crossan. I'll talk to you later.